What exactly does a hunting squad need to do? Ningfan ignored Maejeff's threat. Maejeff's reply was curt. Hunt, of course. Beasts. Yes. Preferably intact ones. The blue glow from Maejeff's necklace faded, and Ningfan's group felt the crushing pressure around them suddenly lift. So it was the necklace after all. The more complete the beast, the higher the points. Maejeff smiled faintly. You can get hurt, but don't destroy the precious beasts. Su Ben curled his lip. Then this job doesn't suit me much. Majeff raised a brow at him, then glanced at the massive crater in the ground. That method works fine for killing men. But when hunting, better be gentle. Fine. Ningfan nodded. So when do we start work? Majeff sneered. When did I ever say you could join my hunting squad? Your lapdogs are dead. If you don't take us in, isn't that a pure loss? Ningfan spread his hands. Besides, with our strength, joining another squad wouldn't be hard. Kid, you're arrogant. Anyone with real strength has some pride. Ningfan chuckled. Only the powerless lick boots. Good. Then let me see what you're capable of. Majeff turned away. Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. Find me at the 3rd Division of the Regional Guard. When Majeff left, Huizi elbowed Ningfan. You already planned to join his squad, didn't you? Not just Huizi, Qiaofi and Su Ben also thought Ningfan must have had a plan. Otherwise he wouldn't have dared kill Lu the Blind right under Majeff's nose. But to their surprise, Ningfan shook his head. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision. I acted on impulse. He looked at Lu the Blind's corpse. His servile manner disgusted me. Only then did they realize Ningfan hadn't killed Lu with any scheme in mind. He had simply wanted to kill him. Joining the squad was just a makeshift retreat thought up afterward. No one blamed him. Lu the Blind's behavior just now. He hadn't died unjustly. Here's how I see it. Ningfan gazed in the direction Majeff had gone. So many squads are recruiting. They must need beast corpses for something. Majeff belongs to the 3rd Division. Just now he seemed unwilling for us to join other squads. That suggests competition between them. I suspect the real demand for beast corpses isn't from them but from Yang Kickoff. They recruit more hands to curry favor with him. The squad leaders, by securing more and better corpses, raise their standing in the regional guard. Ningfan's eyes gleamed brighter as he spoke. If I'm right, then within District F70, the people of Grand District G aren't united as one. Where there's competition, where interests clash, there's a chance to pry open a crack from within. Huizi was dumbfounded. Didn't you just say joining the squad was a spur-of-the-moment idea? Yes, it was. And in this short while you've thought all that through? Ningfan nodded. What's wrong? Hey, nothing. Huizi fell silent. Qiaofi, however, frowned and thought for a moment. She didn't look bewildered like Huizi but spoke directly. So what do we do next? Ningfan smiled. We enter the squad as parasites. Yi Liang. Su Wanjun sat in a chair, one leg crossed, a steaming cup of tea in hand, his face indifferent. I haven't treated you poorly, have I? Before him Yi Liang no longer knelt. He sat cross-legged on the floor, staring back at Su Wanjun. Around him, within 5 meters, 3 activated spirit-sealing devices glowed. Such treatment, only Yi Liang could have it. Yi Liang said nothing, only glared. Su Wanjun spoke softly. 4th day now, isn't it? Still won't talk. Yi Liang remained silent. Su Wanjun gestured toward the ground before him. Just a meter away lay 3 severed heads. They had once been Yi Liang's friends. See? I'd rather kill your friends than harm you. I do care for you. He sighed. But you betrayed me. Yi Liang still said nothing. Su Wanjun crooked a finger. An attendant handed him a sheet of paper. Let's see. Who dies today? It was a list, names of Yi Liang's closest ones. The last 3 already marked in red. Ah, Today it's your childhood sweetheart? Su Wanjun chuckled. I've seen her. Quite pretty. I even thought if you married I'd host the wedding. 7 names in total ranked by closeness. Each day one crossed out. Well, dead is dead. I'll find you someone better someday. He slashed another name. Yi Liang's teeth ground audibly, fists clenched, eyes bloodshot. Let's see. Tomorrow it's your younger brother. Su Wanjuan. Yi Liang roared, trembling with rage. You beast. Yi Liang, why such words? Su Wanjun showed no anger, only a deeper smile, cold and sinister. You hid my son. I only want to know his whereabouts. And now you blame me. Yi Liang's jaw nearly shattered from clenching. Su Wanjun. Why do you think I kidnapped Su Bei? Don't you know? I know. Su Wanjun nodded. I followed your lead and found Lin Hai of the Owl's Nest. His eyes narrowed. Hiding Su Bei wasn't your true aim. You wanted me to clash with Lin Hai, didn't you? Yi Liang trembled. A pity. You were so close. Half a month more and I really would have fought him. Su Wanjun almost sounded regretful. But fate intervened. You never expected a device that could detect spirit energy. You broke my leg. 4 days of torment had driven Yi Liang to the brink of collapse. Yes. I broke your leg but spared your life. Why hate me? Su Wanjun laughed lightly. Blame your spirit servant. Why name it, covering the heavens? His smile twisted into a snarl. Tell me, who did you mean to cover? Night falls. In District F70 at Qi Huan's home. Su Ben had already recounted his earlier conversation with Qi Huan. Ning Fan and the others could now be certain. Whatever old Wu and his men had done, Qi Huan was not involved. Yet Qi Huan's eyes as he looked at them were still filled with fear. He was terrified. These people were far more reckless than he had imagined. Killing old Wu and his partner was one thing. But Lu the Blind was dead too. And they had struck even under the watchful eyes of the regional guard. In District F70, no one dared provoke the men of Grand District G. That belief was deeply ingrained. But these people, not only had they provoked them, they now sat here unharmed. Brother Fan. Qi Huan's voice trembled. Ning Fan's clothes were still stained with old Wu's blood. The smell alone made Qi Huan's already fragile courage collapse further. What are you afraid of? Ning Fan's tone was calm. Are we really that frightening? Yes. Qi Huan answered in his heart without hesitation. Brother Fan, could you spare old Wu's family? They know nothing. Qi Huan's face was pale, his hands pressed together in supplication. Ning Fan paused. Even at the height of his fear, Qi Huan was pleading for others. That surprised him. Clearly, Qi Huan was scared to death. Old Wu just had Lu the Blind's men blow up your house. Ning Fan's voice was quiet. Qi Huan nodded. But that was old Wu's doing. Huizi tilted her head, studying him. So you're loyal and righteous? You sold old Wu out without hesitation. But you're also cowardly and selfish. You're about to piss yourself with fear, yet you beg for others. Hey, you're a strange one. Ning Fan stared at Qi Huan for a moment, then shifted the subject. How many squads does the regional guard have? Qi Huan blinked, then quickly answered. 13, I think. One of them is Yang Kickoff's personal guard, always at his side. And each squad has how many men? Anywhere from 20 to 50. Qi Huan thought further, then added, but the hunting teams beneath them aren't counted among those numbers. So the hunting teams are outsiders, not official members of the guard? Yes. Qi Huan sighed. The guard's standards are high. They almost never recruit from District F. Ning Fan fell silent, pondering. What he truly wanted to know was why Yang Kickoff needed so many beast corpses. But Qi Huan clearly couldn't answer that. Enough. Sleep. Ning Fan asked no more. Qi Huan's position limited what he could know. Only by entering a hunting squad could they uncover the truth. In the dream, Ning Fan darted and spun. Sword Without Sorrow sat upon his coffin, commanding a storm of flying blades. At first Ning Fan couldn't withstand 3 moves. Now he could last more than 2 hours. In dreams he didn't need to worry about exhaustion. But that didn't mean it was easy. Every 3 to 5 minutes, Sword Without Sorrow's techniques shifted drastically. Just as Ning Fan began to adapt, the swordplay changed again. Each transformation was like facing a new opponent, forcing him to relearn the rhythm. Your heart is restless. Sword Without Sorrow's voice was low. Ning Fan parried a strike, stealing a glance at him. His brows furrowed deeper. Sword Without Sorrow's face remained expressionless. You don't want to break the formation. Ning Fan stayed silent, defending against the relentless blades. Why? Still silence. Sword Without Sorrow frowned slightly. 3 days ago you could have broken it. Why pretend defeat? What are you afraid of? That I'll find a new way to kill you? This isn't like you. He was unusually talkative today. Usually Ning Fan would toss out a question, hoping Sword Without Sorrow might answer by reflex. But he never did. Ning Fan often thought his lips were welded shut. Lately Ning Fan had stopped asking. Entering the dream he simply fought. The only sound was steel clashing against steel. But tonight Sword Without Sorrow spoke first. Clang. A blade flew at Ning Fan. He leapt, striking it down. The formation shattered. He had passed this round of teaching. Yet his face showed no joy, only grave solemnity. Not bad. Sword Without Sorrow rose from his coffin. From now on I fight you directly. Wait. Ning Fan cut in. Sword Without Sorrow shook his head. I told you, breaking the formation doesn't earn answers. My question isn't about the coffin. Nor my past. Ning Fan's voice was stubborn. Sword Without Sorrow said nothing. He flashed forward, blade in hand. In an instant Ning Fan felt cold steel at his throat. So fast. He could barely track the movement. The sword stopped 2 inches from his neck. Why didn't you dodge? Sword Without Sorrow frowned. With your skill now, you could avoid the vital point. Ning Fan's face was set. Answer me one question. Sword Without Sorrow's brows knit tighter. His blade pressed closer, touching Ning Fan's skin. Still Ning Fan did not move. You don't want to learn sword anymore? I do. Ning Fan's voice was low. But unless I understand this, I can't go on. Sword Without Sorrow studied him for a long moment, then withdrew his blade. Ask. Ning Fan drew a deep breath. If I defeat you, how much of your strength could I reach? You won't defeat me. Sword Without Sorrow's tone was proud. In swordsmanship I have never lost. Ning Fan's heart grew heavier. So I'll never win against you? Correct. Then you'll vanish before I ever do? Silence. You push me to break the formations because your time is short. You want me to learn as many techniques as possible before you fade. Isn't that so? Silence again. Ning Fan clenched his fists, teeth grinding. For days now he had noticed something. As his skill grew, he had more chances to glance at Sword Without Sorrow. And each time, his figure seemed fainter. Sparkles. This translation keeps the tense, dramatic tone of the original while flowing naturally in English prose. Would you like me to refine it further into a publish-ready version with polished idioms and literary flair? Or keep it closer to the raw Chinese cadence? For some time now, Ning Fan had shown little change in outward emotion. In District F-70, every decision he made could determine the life or death of his entire team. He did not want emotions clouding his judgment, driving him into reckless impulses. Yet today he had acted on impulse. Killing Lu the Blind was not the problem. It was the way he did it. Too risky. Fortunately, Majeff truly needed them to join the hunting squad. Otherwise, Ning Fan's rashness might have plunged the team into danger. Perhaps not fatal but certainly painful. And the source of Ning Fan's turmoil was none other than Sword Without Sorrow. Why have you gone silent? Ningfan looked at him. Cross blades. Sword Without Sorrow's voice was calm. Tell me, how much time do you have left? Will you die? I am already dead. Sword Without Sorrow's tone was distant. I am a soul. I told you before. But here you're no different from the living. No difference. He glanced around. Who can live forever in a cage? Ningfan's heart jolted. He realized he had overlooked something. All this time he thought only he suffered in these duels. No one wants to feel death again and again. But what of Sword Without Sorrow when Ningfan was not here? A lone soul guarding 8 coffins. I know what you're thinking. Sword Without Sorrow suddenly smiled. It was the first time Ningfan had seen him smile. It was beautiful, an elegant, shadowed kind of beauty. This is mine to bear. His smile was serene. These days, you hesitate to break the formation because you fear each step forward brings me closer to vanishing. Don't be foolish. No matter how far you grow, the time of my disappearance will not change. So before I fade, you must grasp the essence of my sword. If you truly master it, then even when I vanish, I will live again in another way. Sword Without Sorrow twirled his blade, then thrust without hesitation. I wish to be born without sorrow and return without grief. His voice rang in Ningfan's ears. This sword art is called the Sorrowless Sword. Warning. Su Ben slapped Huizi's shoulder. Smack. Huizi turned, ready to curse, but Su Ben pointed at Ningfan lying nearby. Huizi glanced once and swallowed her words. Though Ningfan's eyes were closed, tears streaked down his face. What's wrong with him? Su Ben whispered. Huizi licked her lips, sighed. Dreamt of his mother, maybe. Even Su Ben did not joke this time. At least I know my father went to the upper city. I have something to hold on to. But Fan doesn't even know where his mother went. Huizi's gaze softened. This kid's heart is strong. One by one the people around him vanish, yet he endures. As they spoke, Ningfan slowly opened his eyes. He felt the dampness at his lashes. Awake? Hungry? Want me to buy you a chicken leg? Su Ben asked quickly. Ningfan's chest still ached. Sword Without Sorrow had killed him again. And before leaving the dream he had noticed. The figure of Sword Without Sorrow had grown fainter. Not hungry. Ningfan rose. I'll wash my face. He left the room, plunged his head into a wooden bucket, holding his breath for 3 full minutes. When he returned, his face was calm once more. Let's go. Time to see Majeff. Fan, you sure you're fine? You were crying in your sleep. Smack. Huizi returned the earlier blow. Su Ben yelped in pain. Huizi grinned at Ningfan. Don't listen to this fool. You were just sweating in your sleep. Soon the 4 of Wild Dog's den arrived before a tall building. This the place. Huizi tilted her head. Looks grand enough. 8 stories high, rare in the district. Inside, guards from Grand District G questioned them, then contacted Majeff. Once confirmed they were here to join the hunting squad, they were allowed through. After asking around, they found the 3rd Division's room. Inside, nearly everyone was blonde and blue-eyed. They barely glanced at Ningfan's group, busy with their own tasks. Well, if it isn't the proud child. Majeff emerged from his office, smiling. I like punctual people. I believe you'll like those who bring you profit even more. Ningfan replied with a smile. Haha. Your arrogance makes me look forward to you. He led them into his office. If you're ready, you can head to the hunting grounds today. He pulled a dossier from his drawer, handed it to Ningfan. These are the beasts we need. Ningfan skimmed the list. Rot serpent, 5 points, perfect quality. 3-eyed rat, 7 points, perfect quality. Black-scaled blood crocodile, 15 points, perfect quality. Rottenwood bear, 20 points, perfect quality. 9 beasts in total. As Majeff had said yesterday, only intact corpses earned full points. Any damage reduced the score. My squad has many capable hunters. Majeff leaned back proudly. One team brings back over 50 points each hunt. 50 points didn't sound like much. But no one could guarantee their prey would be perfect quality. Don't set us a quota. Just see how many points we bring back. Ning Fan shook the dossier. Can we take this with us? Of course. Just don't spread it around. Majeff's eyes gleamed. I'll be waiting for your triumphant return. How do we reach the hunting grounds? Ning Fan asked. My men will drive you. But they won't wait because... Majeff sneered. They don't know if you'll survive. Fine. Ning Fan's tone was firm. Arrange it. We'll leave now. No preparations? Majeff raised a brow. Ning Fan shook his head. First we test the path. Then we'll know what to prepare. He turned to Su Ben. Ben, buy food. Don't skimp, stock up. Got it. Su Ben hurried off. Seeing their confidence, Majeff went to arrange the transport. Once he left, Huizi leaned close, curious. Ning Fan, really no preparations? None needed. Ning Fan flicked the dossier. I've studied the weaknesses of these beasts countless times in exams. It wasn't long before Su Ben returned, lugging bags stuffed with food. Majeff's car had arrived as well. The four boarded and the driver, expressionless, steered them out of District F70. On the road, Ning Fan studied the dossier in his hands. Kiafi and Huizi watched the passing scenery to memorize the route, while Su Ben, "Hey brother, hungry? Got food here, want some?" He grinned at the driver. The man ignored him. So how far's this hunting ground? Silence. How long's the drive? We stopping for a break? Anyone else in the hunting ground right now? Can we snatch other people's prey? And if someone robs us, will Majeff care? Hey, old man's talking to you, say something will you? At last, after 5 seconds, the driver turned his head, cold eyes fixed on Su Ben. Mind your tongue, sir. Ah, so you can talk. Thought you were mute. Su Ben chuckled. Long road ahead, nothing to do, why not chat? The driver fell silent again. Su Ben curled his lip. Like I care to talk to you. If I hadn't eaten too much this morning, I wouldn't be this bored. Realizing he'd get no information from this block of wood, Su Ben hugged his giant crossbow and dozed off. He didn't know how long he slept until someone tapped his shoulder. We're here. He turned to see Huizi, face grim, staring out the window. Su Ben rubbed his eyes. The moment he looked outside, his heart sank. Not because the scene was terrifying, but because it was oppressive. There was almost no light. Even their car seemed swallowed by endless darkness. In the wilderness before, there had at least been glowing plants along the road, faintly illuminating the way. Here, only strange insects drifted in the air, casting dim violet glimmers. Even the headlights reached barely a meter ahead. From the dark came guttural cries of beasts, sometimes mingled with human groans of pain. What is this place? Huizi murmured. Raven Lake. The driver spoke at last, handing them 4 wristbands. Wear these. Ning Fan took one. It glowed faint yellow, not enough to light the way but visible in the dark. The band displayed date and time with the number 3 etched on its rim. This is the 3rd Division's mark? Ning Fan asked. The driver nodded. See the same band, their 3rd Division. Ning Fan studied it in silence. You can get out now. Wait. Su Ben frowned. In this godforsaken place, how do we get back after the hunt? Figure it out yourselves. The driver's tone was blunt. Ning Fan thought for a moment, then spoke quietly. 7 days from now, come pick us up here. I'm not obliged. Not obligation. Trade. Ning Fan cut him off. 5 points when the time comes. The driver turned, clearly tempted. But he sneered. You might not survive. And if we do? Ning Fan pressed. It's less than 2 hours' drive. Even if you waste a trip, you lose nothing. But if we come out alive, you earn 5 points for free. The driver considered long. Finally he nodded. 7 days. I'll wait here 2 hours. Deal. Ning Fan signaled the others to disembark. The car drove off. Su Ben's food was divided into 4 packs, each carrying 1. Put the wristbands away. Ning Fan opened his bag, stowed his inside. The others followed without hesitation. Even without Ning Fan's order, they knew better. These things were targets. In a place like this, hoping to use them to find allies. A joke. The guard must know no one would wear them. So why give them to us? Huizi muttered, puzzled. Ning Fan didn't answer. Let me think. Some things need sorting out. Fine, wait a sec. Huizi walked a few steps away. Soon came the sound of trickling water. All 3 frowned. Seriously, you pissed? Su Ben mocked. Huizi shivered, then returned. Leaving a mark. Otherwise, how do we find this spot in 7 days? With piss. Yeah, why? Even if you're a dog, the smell won't last 7 days. I'll smell it. Huizi's voice dimmed. Lately, my nose has gotten sharper. Su Ben didn't get it. But Ning Fan and Qiafi understood. Stay close. Ning Fan whispered as they moved into the dark. It was too black. Stray too far and they'd lose each other. And once lost, finding the way back would be near impossible. Do you hear voices? After minutes of walking, Qiafi asked. Like murmurs in a dream. Yes. I hear them. Oh. Thought it was just me. All 3 confirmed. This place is cursed. Huizi's voice trembled. How do we hunt in pitch black? Before coming, he'd been confident. He even thought he'd be the main force this time. His spirit servant was Shadow. To earn high points, beasts had to be intact. He only needed to bind their shadows while the others killed them cleanly. But no. It was like his eyes had been gouged out. No shadows to see, no prey to bind. Ning Fan had considered this method too. Now, realizing it was useless, he knew this hunt would be far harder than expected. Su Ben's spirit servant wasn't suited either. He could blast prey apart, but intact corpses were required. Huizi's shadow was useless. As they trudged on, Ning Fan suddenly halted. The others froze too. Ning Fan, light ahead. Huizi's voice was wary. Ning Fan saw it as well. Not far away, hovering a meter above the ground. A wristband glowing eerie green. Was it a person? Qiafi's hand pressed against the tang blade at her side. Ning Fan thought for only 2 seconds before lowering his voice. Back. We go back. Though none of them fully understood his meaning, they did not hesitate. Huizi sniffed the air, retracing their steps to where they had begun. Huizi, you got inflammation lately? Su Ben teased. Shut up. I'm being serious. Huizi scowled, then asked, Ning Fan, that wristband just now? Before he could finish, Ning Fan cut him off. It could be bait. Bait? What do you mean? When we first received those wristbands, I already thought they were strange. In the darkness, Ning Fan frowned. Anyone who comes here to hunt isn't a fool. And if you're not a fool, you'd realize. Wearing a wristband in this place is the same as exposing yourself completely. Right? Then what's the point of them? Huizi was more confused than ever. Ning Fan paused, then said coldly, Trophies. Trophies? What do you mean? Our thinking was wrong. His voice grew sharper. Or rather, everyone in District F70 has misunderstood the hunting squads from the start. Whether Yang Kickoff truly needs beast corpses is uncertain. But the points system, the recruitment of squads, it's all designed to make us slaughter each other. Ning Fan clenched his teeth. The prey here is people. The 3 froze, a chill running through their hearts. In this oppressive darkness, it felt as though countless unseen eyes were watching them. This, Huizi could not form words. Ning Fan continued. Yang Kickoff created the point system, telling everyone, if you want to live well in District F70, you need points. That strips away the advantage of those who came with plenty of sola. To earn points you must join a hunting squad, enter the hunting ground. And those who fled here are all people who caused trouble in District F. Even if they don't want to serve Young Kickoff, they're forced to earn points first. Because without points sola buys only food. And in this darkness the human mind and spirit are crushed. People grow sensitive, fragile, stripped of safety. Every sound becomes a threat. Let me ask you something, you'll understand. Ning Fan's voice dropped lower. When you saw that green wristband just now, what was your first instinct? All three felt their hearts jolt. Not negotiation. Not rescue. But the instinct to strike. If Ning Fan hadn't pointed it out, they might never have realized. The reason was simple. I cannot see you. But I cannot be sure you cannot see me. That uncertainty phrase already taut nerves. No one wants to die. So to protect yourself, you kill first. Remember what the driver said? Ning Fan pressed. He told us, yellow wristbands mean 3rd Division. Of course they remembered. It sounds harmless. But it also implies, other colors are not 3rd Division. Back in the district I said the squads likely compete. Many others must have realized the same. That was the first hint. Now with wristbands marking us and them, the purpose is clear. If the color differs, you can kill. Because we are competitors. A gulp echoed beside Ning Fan. But what's the point of this? Weakening. Ning Fan answered instantly. District F-70 still lies within District F. Young Kickoff is clever. When we arrived we heard of the hunting ground and points. That made everyone focus on why he wanted beast corpses. His demands for them are extreme, almost impossible. That only deepens suspicion. What is he plotting? From the start he's guided everyone's attention toward beasts, distracting them from what he truly fears. That those who come to F-70 are from District F, many of them powerful. At first newcomers cannot form a threat. But if they live here long enough, build teams, gather the discontented. Young Kickoff would be vulnerable. Because the fresh blood here comes from District F. And Young Kickoff is an outsider. Queasy finally understood. So he devised this, forcing everyone into the hunting ground to earn points. Exactly. Ning Fan's voice was icy. Those strong enough to hunt are the ones he fears. And by making them kill each other he removes the threat without lifting a finger. In truth, Ning Fan had sensed something wrong even before leaving the car. Because of that dossier of beast. Others might not notice so quickly. But Ning Fan was different. He had mastered the beast compendium. Yes, those beasts favored darkness. But not necessarily pitch black. They could exist elsewhere. More importantly, the hunting ground was chosen by Young Kickoff. That was the most unreasonable yet most overlooked detail. If he needed beast he could simply announce it. Why designate a place, send drivers to deliver hunters there? Ning Fan scanned the unseen void, his eyes gleaming. This environment is perfect for a slaughterhouse. Then, what should we do now? No one had an answer. Moments ago they had been wondering how to hunt in such an environment. But Ning Fan's deductions had left them adrift. What next? Do they still hunt? Ning Fan said nothing. He was weighing the options. 3 paths lay before them. First, leave the hunting ground, return to District F-70. But how Majeff would deal with them was uncertain. Second, head straight for Wildwind Pass. That choice carried immense risk. If they couldn't even gain footing in F-70, how could they survive in Wildwind? Third, bring back prey to F-70. Ning Fan narrowed his eyes, thinking for a full 20 minutes. The roars in the darkness grew louder as if right before them. Yet none urged him. Though the path ahead was unseen, each gripped their weapon tighter, instinctively shielding Ning Fan at the center. Withdrawal. Ning Fan spoke suddenly. Huizi Qiaofi, did you mark the way when we came? Yes, remembered. Though direction was hard to discern in the dark, Huizi's nose could barely trace the route. Step by cautious step, after half an hour, they finally emerged from the suffocating black of the hunting ground. Looking back, the place seemed swallowed whole by darkness. Each felt a lingering dread. No great danger had struck, yet the oppressive weight had been unbearable. "Do we go back now?" Huizi asked. Since Ningfan had led them out, he must have decided. "If we return now, Majeff will almost certainly trouble us." Ningfan shook his head. They were not yet strong enough to oppose the regional guard. "Then what?" Su Ben pressed. Ningfan did not answer. He pulled out his phone, dialed. The line connected quickly. "Captain Ning." The voice on the other end was surprised but warm. "What's the order?" "Brother Chu, you know I only call when I need something." Ningfan laughed. Yes, he was calling Chu Hongba. Of course. Why else would you call? "How's Ben?" "Fine. He's doing well." Beside him, Su Ben leaned toward the phone. "Brother Chu, I actually miss you. You don't know, food here's crazy expensive. A chicken leg costs 200. Ningfan waved him off. "Chu, I really do have a job for you." He pulled the beast dossier from his pack. "I'll assign you a task. Charge as usual." "All right. What's the job?" "Hunting." 3 days later. On a cliff 7 or 8 meters high, the 4 of Wild Dog's den sat eating. 3 days and still no one? Su Ben burped. "How long we waiting?" "No rush. Wait a bit more." Ningfan bit into roasted red tiger meat, eyes fixed on the road's end below. "Rest if you're tired." 4 seasoned survivors, 3 days of rough living was nothing. "And if no one comes?" Kiafi asked softly. Ningfan shook his head. "Someone will. It's only a matter of time." With that assurance they asked no more. Time crawled. Just as they prepared to take turns resting, a light flickered at the road's end. "They're here. Ready." Ningfan hissed, tense with excitement. The others snapped alert, weapons in hand. A vehicle approached, heading for the hunting ground. Their perch was on the only road leading there. Huizi and Kiafi had mapped it earlier. After analysis, they all agreed. This spot was perfect for an ambush. "Ben. Fire." "Spirit Servant. Heavy cannon." As the car neared, Su Ben rose, hefted his giant crossbow and loosed a bolt. Boom. The blast flipped the vehicle. "Go." Ningfan's face was cold. No survivors. At his command, Kiafi and Huizi rushed forward. Crash. The car slammed down, dust rising. Ningfan was already there. Cough, cough. The door burst open. A bloodied man staggered out, only to feel a chill at his throat. His head fell. Kiafi cut him down, then thrust her blade through the window, ending another life. 2 remained inside. But before they understood, Ningfan's broken sword pierced them. Only the driver lived. Not the same wooden-faced man from before. Who are you?" he snarled. "This is District F-70's 6th Division vehicle. You're insane, robbing us." 6th Division? Ningfan's eyes gleamed. "Yes. Our captain is." Flash. The broken sword tore his throat. Ningfan needed only to know. It wasn't 3rd Division. Good fortune. He tossed the corpses into the back seat. "Huizi, handle it." "Got it." Huizi slid into the driver's seat, started the engine, drove off. Su Ben hadn't destroyed the car outright. Ningfan had ordered it spared. It would be useful. On the road, Kiafi glanced at Ningfan. "Once begun, there's no turning back." "I know. We may kill many." "Yes." Ningfan watched the road ahead, voice calm. "To reach Yang Kickoff, we must first become his blade." Kiafi and Su Ben stayed silent. Ningfan continued. "Yang Kickoff may have many blades. To be the one he trusts, we must kill those he wants dead. Only when he hangs us at his side will we have the chance to strike him." Half an hour later, Huizi returned. The bodies were gone. Ning Fan climbed in, searched the cabin. Near the driver's seat he found them, 3 wristbands. Red wristbands. Good. Let's move. Ning Fan tucked them into his pack. Time to meet Brother Chu. On it. Huizi drove, following their planned route, avoiding the main road from F70 to the hunting ground, steering toward the Dark Isle forest. None of them noticed the luxurious car passing in the opposite direction. On its side gleamed the emblem, Dark Lodge. How much farther? In the back seat, Su Wanjun sat with eyes closed, conserving his strength. There were only 3 people in the car. The driver, a cold young woman in her early 20s with a ponytail in the passenger seat, and him. Commander Su were almost there. The driver answered cautiously. Su Wanjun nodded, glanced out the window, then let out a derisive chuckle. That Yi Liang. To think he'd hide little Bei in a place like this. Before long the car stopped. Ahead lay a city, triangular in shape. Each of its 3 corners stretched into walls that vanished into the horizon. This was Wildwind Pass. At the massive gates, guards patrolled back and forth. Their strength here was greater than in any district of F. Funny, this is my first time here. Su Wanjun smiled faintly. Tell them to open the gate. Commander Su, your identity. Tell them. It doesn't matter. Yes, sir. The driver stepped out to speak with the guards. At first they were defiant, but after a few words their tone shifted to caution. Soon he returned. Commander Su, they say they must inform the pass's lord. So troublesome. I wanted to see little Bei sooner. Impatience flickered across Su Wanjun's face. He checked the time. 5 minutes. If the gate isn't open by then, I'll open it myself. Time passed. 5 minutes. Su Wanjun said nothing. The driver, understanding, opened the door for him. Su Wanjun stepped out, walking toward the gate. The guards stiffened. Commander Su, our lord will be here any moment. Spirit servant. Annihilation. The 6 guards at the gate, shattered. As though crushed by invisible force, they collapsed into pools of blood and flesh. Su Wanjun's stride did not falter. He walked across the gore to the gate, raised his hand. The gate opened. He paused. It had opened before he touched it. A car rolled out. Inside, a blond middle-aged man froze at the sight of the carnage. Commander Su. I've long heard your name. He stepped out, face dark. To kill upon entering my pass, is that fitting? Your guards were discourteous. Su Wanjun's smile was easy. I gave them 5 minutes. That was mercy. The man's face grew uglier. Su Wanjun turned back to his car. Commander Su, no explanation? The man pointed at the blood. Explanation? To you. Su Wanjun sneered. Are you worthy? The man trembled. Commander Su, do you mean to start a war? You people of Grand District G, always threatening war. Su Wanjun arched a brow. I'm mad. Push me and you'll be the ones to suffer. The man clenched his teeth. Su Wanjun laughed again. When I go mad, even I fear myself. He tapped his temple. Tell your chief, if he keeps shouting for war, fine. I'll abandon the Tongding Wall and come play myself. The car drove into Wildwind Pass. The middle-aged man stood frozen. Lord Su Wanjun is too arrogant. Should we? One of his men spoke angrily. But before he finished, the lord slammed his fist into the wall. Boom. Stone shattered. The men flinched. Lord Yu. Endure. His chest heaved, rage barely contained. Endure. Yes. He truly is a madman. The lord's voice steadied, though his eyes were grim. A terrifying madman. As Lord of Wildwind Pass, he knew secrets outsiders did not. Su Wanjun's name had long sat at the very top of Grand District G's list of dreaded enemies. Within the city, Su Wanjun's car stopped outside a filthy alley. Here. He frowned at the squalor. By little Bei, you've suffered. The driver hurried out, following the address to a door. Suddenly, doors along the alley burst open. A dozen men surrounded him. What do you want? The driver panicked. He was only a driver. In the car, Su Wanjun rested a hand on the window frame. He waved twice. The dozen men became blood and flesh. The driver, long accustomed to such scenes, pressed on. He opened the door before him. A stench rushed out, making him stagger. Inside he saw and turned, voice trembling with excitement. Commander Su. It's the young master. Su Wanjun's eyes lit. He stepped out, covering his nose, and entered. Against the wall, Su Bei slumped, bound in chains. His hair, face, body stained with blood. Around him, foul fluids pooled. Huge rats scurried across the floor. Snap! Snap! Su Wanjun flicked his hand. The rats died mid-run. Su Bei lifted his head weakly. The faint light outside hurt his eyes. He could barely see, but a figure blocked most of the glare. Not tall, but unmistakable. Little Bei. It's father. Su Wanjun stepped inside. At the voice, Su Bei trembled. He forced his eyes open wider, focusing, until at last he saw. It was his father. Su Wanjun. You've suffered. Su Wanjun crouched before him, voice gentle. Father's here to take you home. Ah. Su Bei tried to speak, but only broken sounds came. Su Wanjun's eyes narrowed. He saw, Su Bei's mouth was empty. And then he realized, his son's limbs had been broken. Yiliang, why go so far? Su Wanjun sighed, stepped back. Xiao Rou. The ponytailed girl, silent until now, stepped forward at his call. She stood before Su Bei, arms open as if to embrace him. Her voice was soft, ethereal. Spirit servant, light's benediction. Sunlight bloomed within the room, falling upon Su Bei's broken body. It had been 6 days since Ning Fan and his companions left District F-70. Now deep within the dark owl forest, they sat inside their car with the headlights switched off. The phone rang. Uncle Wen. Ning Fan answered politely. On the other end was Wen Xun. These past days I've run some experiments. I can confirm your suspicion was correct. His voice was low. The darkness of the hunting ground is man-made. As expected, Ning Fan's eyes gleamed. Days earlier, besides contacting Chu Hongbo, he had also called Wen Shuyuan. Ever since leaving the hunting ground, he had been pondering one thing. The darkness there did not feel natural. He recalled the first time he met Majeff, when Majeff had shouted that word, boundary. At that moment, Ning Fan had felt immense pressure. The brighter the blue glow, the heavier the weight. That glow had come from Majeff's necklace. So perhaps the darkness itself was created in a similar way. After much thought, Ning Fan had decided to seek Wen Shuyuan's help. This was Wen's specialty. Wen had listened carefully, then begun his own experiments. Now he had results. Grand District G has its own research institutes. Their focus differs from ours. Boundary has been their core project in recent years. Wen spoke softly. I managed to obtain some information about it, though little was useful. But judging from what we know, the hunting ground's darkness is almost certainly created through boundary. He did not share the deeper theories. Ning Fan only needed the conclusion, not the research. So within that darkness, there must be a device sustaining the entire area? Yes. Wen's tone grew grave. But such a device will not be easy to find. Ning Fan understood. Searching for it in pitch black was already difficult. Add beasts and hunters, and Yang Kickoff would surely hide the device somewhere safe, away from battle. That made it even harder. Still, having a lead was better than groping blindly. I see. With this answer, Ning Fan was 90% certain his theory was right. Thank you, Uncle Wen. No need for thanks. Wen chuckled. How are you adjusting over there? Still adapting. Ning Fan hesitated, then asked softly, Is Sister Kai well? She's with me. Wen did not answer directly. If you want to speak to her. Aw, never mind, she's gone. It's fine. Ning Fan forced a smile. As long as she's well. She's safe with me. No problem with her living conditions. Wen sighed. I'll hang up. The line went dead. Ning Fan sat in silence. He knew Wen had more to say but had held back. Forget it. When he could one day walk openly into the central district, then they would speak again. Hours later, Chu Hongba contacted him. They had entered the Dark Isle forest. Soon the two sides met. The Wolf Alliance had brought 8 men, driving 2 large cargo trucks. Damn. I've never traveled so far in my life. Chu Hongba cursed with a laugh as he climbed out, pounding his waist. You brat drove me like death itself. I didn't dare rest once. Thanks for the effort, brother Chu. Ning Fan looked a little guilty. Enough with the pleasantries. Chu Hongba opened the rear of one truck. Check the goods. A wave of blood stench rolled out. Inside lay heaps of beast corpses. Every one matched the list Majeff had given. Days earlier, Ning Fan had passed the dossier to Chu Hongba, along with detailed knowledge of each beast's habitat. Chu Hongba had wasted no time, splitting the Wolf Alliance into 3 hunting parties. Once they met Ning Fan's quota, they rushed to the Dark Isle forest for rendezvous. Kiafi, pay brother Chu. She nodded, pulling out 100,000 sola from her pack. It was a hefty sum, but fair for this commission. The Wolf Alliance charged high and this mission was urgent over long distance. Besides, those corpses could fetch tens of thousands on the black market. Chu Hongba considered, then took half. 50,000 is enough. Brother Chu, that's not right. Ning Fan frowned. Chu waved him off. What's right or wrong? The job wasn't hard, just far. 50's fine. No, brother Chu. Ning Fan insisted, stuffing the rest into his truck. Business is business. I'm already grateful you helped. Chu studied him with interest. So you want accounts clear even between brothers? You have brothers too. We all risk our lives. Why should you always give us discounts? Ning Fan smiled. Once or twice is fine. But if I keep taking advantage, your men will resent it. If others pay 10 and I pay 5, I'll feel guilty asking again. Chu laughed. All right then. I'll take it. Good. Say a few words to Ben, then we'll go. We're pressed for time. When we return to District F21, we'll celebrate properly. Fine. Chu spoke briefly with Su Ben, 3 minutes at most. Following Ning Fan, I'm reassured. He clapped Su Ben's shoulder. Listen to him more. Got it. Don't worry. Su Ben grinned. They parted ways. Ning Fan's group drove off with the truck full of beast corpses. The old F-70 vehicle was left for Chu Hongba. 10 hours later, the wooden-faced driver returned to the hunting ground. Before entering the darkness, he saw 4 figures sitting by the roadside. He froze. It was Ning Fan and his companions. Finally, we were getting sleepy. Su Ben yawned, pointing at the driver's car. Think that thing can carry it all? The driver's eyes widened at the sight of the pile of beast corpses beside them. You. Strictly speaking, the prey Ning Fan's group had brought back wasn't worth much. Most were low-value rot serpents and 3-eyed rats. Only one mangled rotten wood bear could be considered a big catch. Even so, the driver was surprised. Considering the hunting ground's nature, surviving the first time was already rare, let alone bringing back this many beasts. He had come because Ning Fan's words had swayed him. A trip cost him nothing. Even if it was wasted, he lost nothing. But if these men had the luck to survive, he would earn 5 points for free. Now it seemed he hadn't wasted his time. Stuff them in. The driver quickly regained composure, opened the trunk and helped them load the carcasses. The trunk couldn't close, but with ropes they managed to secure the load. On the way back, the driver spoke first. You've surprised me. First hunt, all alive, and this many beasts. No one answered. They're damaged but should still fetch around 20 points. The points you promised me. Give them when we return. You waited long? If I'd known you had this strength, I'd have come sooner. Next time let me drive you again. We're familiar now. Any of you have night vision? The scene felt familiar. Last time Su Ben had talked endlessly while the driver stayed mute. This time Su Ben played aloof. Quiet down, old man. My ears hurt. Mind your manners, sir. The driver snapped, then muttered. 2 hours on the road, what's wrong with talking? Heh. You've changed a lot in a week. From mute to chatterbox. Su Ben smirked. The driver realized Su Ben was mocking him for his earlier silence, so he stopped trying to be friendly. 2 hours later, the car stopped before the regional guard's headquarters. Ning Fan led the group straight to the 3rd Division. This time the blonde, blue-eyed men inside did not ignore them. Curious, yes, but not ingratiating. Well, proud boy, you didn't disappoint me. Majeff strode from his office, smiling broadly. Ning Fan chuckled. First time not familiar. Otherwise, we'd have brought more. Majeff studied him with interest. Ning Fan added, next time send a bigger car. I worry the prey won't fit. Haha. Still so arrogant, child. Of course. I've proven my strength. Shouldn't I be prouder than before? Ning Fan glanced around. Do we talk here? Majeff paused, then his eyes sharpened. Come inside. The 4 followed him into the office. He picked up a sheet of paper. My men have already tallied your prey. Efficient. Ning Fan smiled. We just arrived, yet the results are already on your desk. Majeff shrugged. Time is precious here, child. Ning Fan said nothing. Majeff continued. Though you brought many, their value is low. Most are small, damaged beasts. I told you, points depend on condition. Then tell me directly, Mr. Majeff. How many points? 19. Good enough. Ning Fan showed no attempt to bargain. This was for experience. We're satisfied. Majeff stared, waiting for more. But Ning Fan's next question disappointed him. How are points given? Majeff thought. You still have the wristbands? Of course. Ning Fan pulled his from his pack. Majeff nodded. I'll record the points into it. Ah, so that's its use? What else did you think? Majeff raised a brow. Ning Fan grinned. I thought it was for light. Majeff narrowed his eyes, studying him long. Then he laughed. Any trouble during the hunt? Not much. Just dark. Ning Fan rose. Mr. Majeff will rest now. A week's work has tired us. As he opened the door, Majeff hesitated. Children, in 7 days truly no trouble? Ning Fan's lips curved faintly. What exactly do you mean, Mr. Majeff? He turned, smiling. I think you know. Majeff leaned on his desk. Ning Fan's smile deepened. You mean, this? He opened his pack, pulled out a wristband. Not yellow. Red. With the number 6 etched beside the time. Majeff laughed. Where from? Picked from another's bag. And the man? Dead. You killed him. We killed him. Their exchange was swift. Behind Ning Fan, Kiafi and the others kept calm faces, though their hearts pounded. They didn't know how Majeff would react. What if squads weren't allowed to kill each other? What if he sold them to the 6th Division? Worse, the wristband wasn't taken in the hunting ground, but ambushed on the road. If Majeff saw through it, they wouldn't leave alive. The tension was suffocating. Then, why didn't you show it earlier? Majeff smiled. This little thing can be exchanged for 30 points. The 4 of them were stunned. Ning Fan had suspected that the true prey in the hunting ground was people. But he had not expected this. All those beasts together were worth only 19 points, while a single wristband could be exchanged for 30. This was Yang Kickoff's other trick. High rewards to drive men mad. Hunting beasts alone made high scores nearly impossible. But one wristband, 30 points. It was an open invitation. To earn points, you didn't have to kill beasts. Killing men, paid better. If Ning Fan had once doubted Yang Kickoff's intentions, now, after they had received wristbands and formally become members of the hunting squad, Yang Kickoff had laid his cards bare. The path to vast points was before them. Would they take it? From the moment they entered District F70, Yang Kickoff had been exploiting human nature, guiding them step by step toward his design. And his confidence rested on one crucial premise. What could points buy? If he wanted to use points to drive District F's people into slaughtering each other, then those points had to be redeemable for something irresistible. Children anymore? Maejeff's voice broke Ning Fan's thoughts. Ning Fan smiled faintly. No. Just one fool who crossed our path. A pity. Maejeff pocketed the red wristband. I look forward to your next hunt. So do I. Ning Fan replied lightly. We'll take our leave, Mr. Maejeff. Go rest. He did not detain them. But as they reached the door, Maejeff added softly, I forgot to mention. If you ever obtain a black wristband, it can be exchanged for 100 points. Ning Fan froze. He turned back, curious. Why? You'll learn in time, child. Maejeff's smile was cryptic. Ning Fan studied him a moment, then nodded. All right. The four left the guard headquarters. Ning Fan, don't we have 3 wristbands? Huizi asked, unable to contain his curiosity. Ning Fan shook his head. We didn't get them through legal channels. Showing all 3 would be too suspicious. In truth, their hunt had broken Yang Kickoff's rules entirely. Until they understood what kind of man he was, caution was survival. And now Ning Fan's greatest question was, what could points do? At Chi Huan's home. Seeing the 4 return whole, Chi Huan nearly dropped to his knees in worship. He had lived in District F70 for years, heard tales of powerful squads. But few returned so easily without a scratch. He had heard stories, never seen it with his own eyes. And when he overheard them mention earning 49 points. Why are you kneeling? Zhu Ben blinked. Indeed, Chi Huan had dropped to his knees. Nothing. My back hurts. Kneeling feels better. He thought back to when he had once tried to extort these men. To have survived that, he was blessed indeed. Thank the ancestors. Zhu Ben ignored him, thinking the man half-mad. Ning Fan, what can points actually do? Zhu Ben had no concept of 49 points. Ning Fan looked at Chi Huan, kneeling straight-backed. Do you know? Chi Huan snapped to attention. They can buy good things. No shit. We figured that. What things? Zhu Ben scowled. I heard, medicines, supplies for wanderers. The details I don't know. Chi Huan smiled awkwardly. The Points Plaza only admits hunters. I've never been inside. And I don't know any hunters. As Ning Fan had said, Chi Huan was among the lowest of District F70's people. His life was poor, his knowledge poorer. What he heard was rumor of little worth. Ning Fan knew he would learn nothing useful here. Where is the Points Plaza? Brother Fan. Chi Huan rubbed his hands nervously. Why don't I take you there? Ning Fan smiled. Want to see it for yourself? Yes. Chi Huan's eyes shone. So I'll have something to brag about later. Fine. Ning Fan agreed. Let's go now. You go. I'll rest. Qiafi waved them off. Ning Fan glanced at her, smiled. All right. Leaving Qiafi behind, Ning Fan led the others to the Points Plaza. It was a 4-story building, sprawling wide. At the entrance, 2 men from Grand District G leaned against the wall, smoking. Seeing them approach, one stepped forward with a smile. Greetings, my friends. Hello. Ning Fan returned the smile. The man looked them over, then politely said, Please show proof. Ning Fan produced his yellow wristband. The man immediately stepped aside. Welcome, hunters, to the Points Plaza. Commander Yang Kickoff thanks you for your service to District F70. May you find what you desire here. Chi Huan straightened his back proudly. Ning Fan frowned slightly, not at Chi Huan but at the detail. Yang Kickoff had thought of everything. For people of District F, what they lacked most was respect. With a wristband with points they gained respect. Thank you. Ning Fan nodded, leading them inside. They had expected a black market. Instead they found something far more orderly. Goods were neatly categorized, signs clear. Even newcomers could find what they needed. Crowded. Huizi muttered, then his eyes widened. Damn. Points. They're worth this much. Ning Fan followed his gaze. On a sign it read. Points exchange rate. 1 point equals 5,000 sola. Seeing the exchange rate, Ning Fan was stunned. They had 49 points in hand. Converted, that meant nearly 250,000 sola. A thought struck Ning Fan instantly. If only he had known about this place earlier. He could have gone to the hunting grounds more often, earned more points and perhaps, before his mother was taken away, scraped together enough money to buy the special medicine. Yet the moment this thought surfaced, Ning Fan's heart tightened. Yang Chikoff. This was exactly the effect he wanted. Ning Fan already had a rough idea of Yang Chikoff's purpose, but upon seeing this exchange rate he still couldn't help thinking. Just a few more trips to the hunting grounds. If he couldn't hunt exotic beasts, then he would hunt men. After all, wristbands were worth far more than beasts. And they came with far less trouble. No need to preserve completeness, just kill, take the wristband. Simple as that. Such a staggering reward. Could drive anyone mad. Brother, want to trade points? A tall man appeared behind them. I can exchange them for sola. Ning Fan turned, momentarily frozen. Even Huizi's face stiffened when she saw him. The resemblance. Too like. The man noticed their strange looks and rubbed his beard awkwardly. Brother, is there something on my face? The Tri-Union Cooperation Zone. Command Hall of Su Wanjun. How is Xiao Bei? Outside Su Bei's room, Su Wanjun asked the ponytailed girl who had just stepped out. About 70% recovered. The girl wiped the sweat from her brow. Commander Su, I need rest. The spirit servant is unstable. Go then, Su Wanjun said softly. No rush. Take it slow. Thank you, Commander. She bowed and walked down the corridor. Su Wanjun pushed open the door. Su Bei lay on the wide bed. His limbs had nearly healed, his wounds completely gone. Xiao Bei, how do you feel? Su Wanjun sat in the chair before him. After the girl's treatment, Su Bei was almost reborn. Even the tongue that had been cut out had regrown. Yet ever since Su Wanjun had found him and brought him back from Wildwind Pass, Su Bei had not spoken a single word. Your father searched so hard to find you. Don't you have anything to say to him? Su Wanjun's voice was gentle, but his eyes held little warmth. It felt as though he were saying, I saved you. You should thank me. Where is my mother? Su Bei finally spoke. It was the first thing he had said since seeing Su Wanjun. His voice was hoarse, his new tongue clumsy, words slurred. But Su Wanjun understood clearly. Xiao Bei, the one who saved you, is your father. Me. Su Wanjun's tone was flat. Where is my mother? Su Bei began to tremble. Sometimes I truly don't understand. Her existence was only to give birth to you. Why do you care so much for a lowly woman? Where is my mother? Su Bei suddenly roared. His body shook violently, lips turning purple, his pale face drained of blood. I killed her. Su Wanjun sneered. I told you, she lived only because she bore the title, Su Bei's mother. But you were lost, your fate uncertain. What meaning did her existence have then? I'll kill you. Su Bei scrambled from the bed. But before he could rise, it felt as though the sky collapsed. A crushing weight pinned him down, immovable no matter how he struggled. It was as if a mountain pressed upon his back. Don't speak foolishly, son. Su Wanjun smiled. You will never kill your father. Ah! Veins bulged on Su Bei's neck, his eyes bloodshot as he glared at Su Wanjun, screaming. Su Wanjun frowned, displeased. You are my son. Looking like this, you shame me. His brows knit tighter. Before outsiders you must never behave so. Why? Why? Su Bei wept. No matter how Yi Liang's men had tortured him before, he had never cried. He knew tears solved nothing. Since childhood, Su Wanjun had taught him, never show weakness before others. A son of Su Wanjun could die but never become a laughingstock. Yet now he could not control himself. She lived. She had no impact on you. Why did you have to kill her? Tell me. Tell me, Supreme Commander Su. Su Bei could not comprehend. His mother had lived alone for years, needing only to fill her stomach each day, not even requiring fine food. You forbade me from being close to her. Fine. I left. I abandoned the Tri-Union Zone. I even avoided visiting her because you disliked it. Was that not enough? Was it not enough? Su Wanjun gazed at his broken son and sighed. Originally, I thought her only value was giving birth to you. But now, though she is dead, her value has risen. He stepped closer, gently stroking Su Bei's hair. If not for her, Yi Liang might never have told me where you were. Su Bei froze. Yi Liang. He knew he had been betrayed. Until now, he hadn't understood how Su Wanjun had found him. Nor could he fathom what his mother had to do with it. Yi Liang was stubborn, Su Wanjun said softly. I killed many around him, yet he refused to speak. I worried for you, son. I thought long and hard until I found a way to pry open his mouth. When his 3 friends and his childhood sweetheart were dead, I realized Yi Liang had grown numb. I panicked. What if I killed everyone and he still refused? Then I remembered. Sometimes, a blade cutting into one's own flesh terrifies the enemy more than cutting theirs. So, I brought her before Yi Liang. Su Wanjun's voice grew quieter. I spent a whole day killing her piece by piece. And then I told Yi Liang, if he still refused, I would use the same method, on all his family. Su Wanjun smiled. And then he spoke. Su Bei trembled all over. He knew his mother was dead. That alone was already too much for him to bear. But when he learned that his mother had been killed by Su Wanjun in such a way, Su Bei completely broke down. Your mother gave you a second life. Su Wanjun smiled with satisfaction. So in my heart her place has risen greatly. Su Bei lay flat on the bed. Even though Su Wanjun no longer pressed him down, he did not move. Indeed, Su Bei had recovered somewhat, had clawed back a life. But this life, it was bought in such a way. That was what shattered him most of all. Xiaobei, I just want you to know, in your father's heart you are very important. Su Wanjun's voice softened. Rest well. When you've recovered, I'll prepare a wedding for you. Su Bei looked at him, his eyes hollow. Oh, you don't know yet, do you? I haven't had the chance to tell you this good news. Su Wanjun pointed toward the door. That girl, do you like her? Su Bei said nothing. Su Wanjun, however, was delighted. She was chosen personally by your father. Su Bei had never spoken to the girl. But he had heard Su Wanjun call her name. Guanrou. When you're married, have a child as soon as possible. Su Wanjun's eyes gleamed with anticipation. I look forward to your child. Su Bei's lips cracked dryly as he whispered. What are you planning? Xiaobei, do you know why I value you so much? Your 2 elder brothers, stronger, more talented than you, yet I keep them stationed outside the Tongding wall, rarely thinking of them. Su Wanjun sat at the bedside, stroking Su Bei's hair. Because your spirit attendant is special. Su Bei froze. Su Wanjun pointed again toward the door. She is the same. Spirit attendant, light arrow. Spirit attendant, light bath. A blazing spark flashed in Su Wanjun's eyes. I want this lower city to have light. No. Huizi, after staring for half a minute, finally sighed. Both he and Ning Fan, upon seeing the man, had thought of someone. Lin Chuan. But after careful scrutiny they realized they were mistaken. Lin Chuan was lean, compact, not tall. This man was broad-shouldered, taller by far. Yet even knowing he was not Lin Chuan, Ning Fan and Huizi still felt stirred. The man's features, his thick beard, 9 parts out of 10 resembled Lin Chuan. "Brothers, you've mistaken me." The tall man reacted quickly, guessing their thoughts from their expressions. "My name is Tian Jingqing." Tian Jingqing seemed easygoing, wearing a constant friendly smile. "Hello." Ning Fan steadied himself. "Just now you said you wanted to trade points. What did you mean?" "Exactly that, trade points." Tian Jingqing gestured at the exchange sign. "Here it's one way only. I have Sola but I'm short on points. If you want to sell points I'll pay high." Only then did Ning Fan notice. Here points could be exchanged for Sola but not the other way around. Simple. Just as he had suspected, Yang Kickoff would never allow those hoarding Sola to disrupt his control over District F70. Seeing their silence, Tian Jingqing named his price outright. "How many points do you have?" "I need 12. By the exchange rate, that's 60,000 Sola. I'll pay 80. It was clear Tian Jingqing desperately needed those 12 points. Ordinary traders would hide their urgency to bargain better. But Tian Jingqing's face practically read, "Come fleece me." And if he could offer 80,000 himself, it meant there was room to push higher. Ning Fan had no doubt. If he asked for 100,000, Tian Jingqing would still agree. "Brother, what do you need the points for?" Huizi asked curiously. And because the man resembled Lin Chuan, both he and Ning Fan felt an odd kinship toward him. "To buy things, of course." Tian Jingqing chuckled. "I'm 12 points short of reaching the second floor. I can't wait any longer." "The second floor?" Ning Fan frowned. "There's a threshold to go upstairs? You're new here, aren't you?" Tian Jingqing looked a little disappointed. Newcomers meant they likely had few points. Still, he explained patiently, "The first floor of the Points Plaza. Anyone with a wristband can enter. But to reach the second floor, you need 100 points." It was the first time Ning Fan and the others had heard this. Su Ben instinctively glanced at Qi Huan, the local of F70. Qi Huan gave a bitter smile. "Bendy, why look at me? It's my first time here too, I snuck in with you guys." So the second floor sells different things than the first? Though Ning Fan hadn't yet browsed the first floor, the stalls seemed unimpressive. That clashed with his expectations. After all, if points were meant to drive the people of District F into killing each other, their value had to be enticing. Of course it's different. The stuff on the first floor, you can buy anywhere. Tian Jingqing curled his lip. The real treasures are upstairs. What's on the second floor? Huizi scoffed. Ever seen 100-soul weapon? Tian Jingqing asked. Huizi stiffened. 100-soul weapon. Its difficulty to obtain, enormous. You'd have to wrest it from its master. Whether by killing or stealing, neither was easy. That thing's useless anyway. Huizi pressed. Spirit attendants need resonance with their wielder. Even if you buy 100-soul weapon without resonance, it's just a blade. No way to summon a spirit attendant. Exactly. No one said you had to use it. But useless doesn't mean worthless. Tian Jingqing winked. Can't you think of another way? For example, melt it down. Huizi glanced at Ning Fan. His eyes seemed to say, isn't that your father-in-law's specialty? Ning Fan cleared his throat, asking Tian Jingqing, they offer that service here too? Yes. Tian Jingqing's smile dimmed. But only on the third floor. Weapons for sale on the second floor. To extract spirits to bind them to your own weapon, you had to climb higher still. Yang Kickoff had mastered human desire. He made it clear. The weapons on the second floor could raise your soul level. 99% of people would find that temptation irresistible. Even knowing Yang Kickoff was manipulating them, they would still fight for points. The lure of advancing soul rank was too great. And the third floor, requires even more points, doesn't it? Of course. Tian Jingqing spread his hand. 500 points. The power of spirit infusion, how much it could elevate one's strength. Others might not be qualified to say. But Huizi had experienced it firsthand. When Xuyuan had helped him and Qiao Fei with spirit infusion, using the weapons of Wang Yi and Old Duan. Qiao Fei gained Old Duan's spark. His speed became faster than before, and his Tang blade now carried the attribute of lightning. As for Huizi, his sharpened sense of smell was entirely thanks to Wang Yi. The wildcat. Though neither of them spoke it aloud after tasting such sweetness, they both secretly longed for the next chance at infusion. This thing was addictive. To infuse spirits one had to go to the 3rd floor. Buy a weapon, infuse it, and the points were gone. To earn points again one had to kill. A seamless rhythm. A perfect closed loop. And what if they understood Yang Kickoff's scheme? How many could resist such temptation? What about the 4th floor? Ning Fan asked instinctively. Already the 3rd floor was temptation enough. What then awaited on the 4th? No idea. Tian Jingqing curled his lip. Brother, aren't you thinking too far ahead? You've just arrived, haven't even figured out the 1st floor, and you're already worrying about the 4th. Ning Fan knew he was asking too soon. Still, he couldn't help but wonder what kind of ultimate weapon Yang Kickoff had prepared for the 4th floor. Alright, I won't keep chatting. I'll go ask around. By now, Tian Jingqing was fairly certain Ning Fan and his group had few points. Sorry for wasting your time. Ning Fan said politely. Tian Jingqing didn't answer. He waved, squeezed out of the crowd and shouted, anyone selling points? I'll pay high. Ning Fan, something feels off. Huizi frowned. What's Yang Kickoff really after? Like you said, he's driving the people of District F into killing each other. But his expenses are enormous too. Forget what's on the upper floors. Just 1 point for 5,000 sola. That's already a huge payout, isn't it? And those exotic beast corpses we brought back being tallied so quickly, it's just as you said. They're only using the beasts as a cover. So even if we slaughter each other, it brings him no real profit. Huizi wasn't alone in his doubts. Su Ben too couldn't quite figure it out. This location. Ning Fan pointed to the ground beneath them. When Xuyuan had explained the layout of Wild Wind Pass to him before. So he understood more clearly than Huizi or Su Ben the importance of District F70. Yang Kickoff is helping District G drive a nail into District F. From G's perspective, they want that nail hammered deep. Ning Fan lowered his voice. So these expenses aren't borne by Yang Kickoff at all. District G would even reward him further, to help him control District F. To us the sums are astronomical. But for a district's strategic investment, they're nothing but a drop in the ocean. Exactly. Qi Huan, emboldened, added, I've heard people say before, District F70's existence is a real headache for District F. Huizi still didn't fully grasp it. He was used to measuring gains by immediate profit, not by the grand scale of strategy. But he asked no more. Thinking wasn't his job. In the end, they bought some basic supplies and medicine on the 1st floor. Points were indeed practical. After a round of purchases, they had spent only 4 points. Yet the goods they carried outside would have been worth more than 20,000 sola. Once they had finished browsing the 1st floor with too few points to reach the 2nd, they left the points plaza. After they departed, Tian Jingqing glanced toward the entrance. Beside him stood a young man. Is that him? Should be. Gone was Tian Jingqing's earlier friendliness. What was his name again? Ning Fan, right? Yes. The young man lowered his voice. Should we take him now? No need. Tian Jingqing thought for a moment, then smiled. I'm curious. What kind of storm will the boys stir up? The one Su Wanjun issued an S-class bounty for. The young man fell silent. Tian Jingqing fiddled with his wristband, then removed it, tossing it into a corner. He led the youth away from the plaza. The young man blinked. You're quitting. Quitting. Since Yang Kickoff isn't using the beasts for research, there's no point. Tian Jingqing waved. Come on. Let's go home. Ning Fan and his companions returned to the alley by Qi Huan's house. Before they reached the door, they heard a commotion inside. I'll ask one last time. When is Qi Huan coming back? A burly young man roared from the crowd. He can't hide forever. I don't believe he can vanish for life. Qi Huan froze. Su Ben blinked. Did you sleep with someone's wife? No. I'm a virgin. Qi Huan explained honestly. Su Ben's eyes lit up. He clapped Qi Huan's shoulder. Same as me, brother. Huizi's sharp eyes spotted Qiao Fei, surrounded by the crowd. Qiao Fei's face was cold, showing no trace of fear as she faced a dozen people at the door. Behind her, Qiyu's small face was tense, hiding nervously. Qi Huan, that bastard's back. Someone turned, spotting them. The mob surged forward. Qi Huan. Give me back my husband. A woman in her 40s, hair disheveled, rushed at Qi Huan, clutching his collar, crying and wailing. The others weren't as hysterical, but they cursed him, shoved him, pressed in from all sides. Qi Huan was jostled back and forth, shouting, Sister-in-law. Wait, listen to me. What's there to say? What's left to explain? My husband is dead. The woman gave him no chance. Smack. A slap cracked across Qi Huan's face. He froze, cheek burning. If he hadn't gone with you on those death trap jobs, would he be dead? The woman felt no guilt for the blow. She grabbed his hair, shrieking, Why did my husband die while you still live? Qi Huan trembled. Then suddenly Qiyu darted out from behind Qiao Fei. With all her strength, she shoved the woman away, spread her small hands and stood before Qi Huan. Don't bully my brother. Ning Fan and the others understood immediately. These people were the families of those who had once joined Qi Huan in his shady dealings. Dead for more than a week, and only now they come looking for trouble? Huizi muttered, though he didn't step in. Ning Fan stayed silent too, but he knew the reason. They hadn't agreed on terms before. This group had come prepared. You little brat. Get out of the way. This is between us and your brother. Go back inside and stay put. A man snarled viciously at Qiyu. Qiyu was timid. Her frail body trembled visibly. Yet she refused to move aside. What the hell? The man saw her glaring back at him, stubborn and angry, and his temper flared. He rolled up his sleeves and raised his hand. Qi Huan spun around instantly, pulling Qiyu into his arms, shielding her with his back. Smack. The blow landed squarely on Qi Huan's back. He clenched his teeth against the pain. Brother son, can't we talk this out? Qi Huan turned, speaking low to the man who had struck him. We're neighbors. Can't we speak like neighbors? Speak to your damn mother. My brother's dead. What's left to say? The man wasn't listening. Seeing Qi Huan clutching Qiyu tightly only enraged him further. So you get to protect your family, but ours die for nothing? Tell me, what kind of justice is that? Qi Huan was silent for a moment, then whispered, Brother son, we all agreed before. This business was life and death at our own risk. Bullshit. Brother son kicked at him furiously. Life and death, huh? Then why are you the only one alive? You think you're special? Everyone else deserved to die. As his legs swung, Qi Huan curled tighter around Qiyu, collapsing to the ground, his body hunched like a shrimp. The others didn't hold back. They stepped in, kicking him again and again. Qi Huan endured the blows without a word, clutching Qiyu as if she were his last breath. Brother. Qiyu sobbed in his arms, torn between fear and heartbreak. Su Ben and Huizi glanced at Ning Fan, waiting for his decision. Ning Fan only watched in silence, making no move to intervene. At last the mob grew tired, panting heavily, still cursing under their breath. Brother Sun crouched, grabbing Qi Huan's hair. Qi Huan, we're neighbors. We don't want to push this too far. You're lucky you lived. But the dead can't die for nothing. Isn't that fair? Blood dripped from Chi Huan's mouth. What do you want? Nothing much. Brother Sun's voice was low. We came today for an explanation. The dead are gone, but the living still need to survive. Without money, how do we live? Chi Huan laughed. But his smile was bitter, hopeless. Heh, how much do you want? That depends on you. Brother Sun's tone was solemn. We've known each other for years. You tell me, what amount feels right? The crowd's eyes lit up. They admired Brother Sun's cunning. By not naming a price, he left endless room to demand more. Brother Sun, I only have a little over 5,000 sola. Chi Huan's voice was weak. If that's enough, divide it among yourselves. Brother Sun froze, then his face twisted with rage. Damn. You think we're beggars? He shook Chi Huan's head violently by the hair. 8 dead and you offer 5,000? Not even 1,000 sola per life. That's all I have. Chi Huan spoke earnestly. I swear I have no more. When old Wu and Brother Yang were alive, I suggested pooling our money to share with everyone. They refused. You bastard. My husband's dead and you dare spit lies? I never realized you were this vile, throwing dirt on the dead. The middle-aged woman who had slapped him earlier shrieked again. Chi Huan met her gaze. I'm telling the truth. And I truly only have 5,000. Even if you kill me, I can't give more. Playing games, huh? Think you can trick us with that nonsense? Not happening. Brother Sun yanked his hair hard. Chi Huan cried out, loosening his grip on Chi Yu. Quick as lightning, someone pulled the girl from his arms. Brother! Chi Yu screamed in terror. Chi Huan's eyes went blood red. Let her go. What are you doing? Nothing much. Just fairness. Brother Sun's eyes were dark. Our families lost lives. Shouldn't yours lose one too? If you won't die, then your sister will. That way everyone suffers equally. We won't even take your 5,000. Keep it for her burial. He released Chi Huan, dragging Chi Yu close, his rough hand clamping around her throat. Chi Yu couldn't even cry. Tears streamed down her face as her mouth gaped for air. Seeing her strangled, Chi Huan went mad. Let her go. But someone kicked him down again. Don't push me. Chi Huan roared. But Brother Sun only sneered. Who are you scaring? My brother said it before. Your spirit attendant looks impressive, but it's useless. Chi Huan ignored him, lunging forward. Crush. He was thrown back even harder, rolling across the ground. He rose again, pulling a short blade from his waist. Bastards! Release my sister. I don't want to kill anyone. He charged once more. Brother Sun only smirked, unimpressed. Chi Huan reached him, pressing the blade to his throat. Let go. His eyes blazed red, his voice a roar. My brother was right about you. Brother Sun's smile grew colder. You coward. You don't have the guts to kill. Chi Huan trembled. Brother Sun released Chi Yu, slapped Chi Huan across the face, knocking him down, then planted his boot on his cheek. One family 10,000. That's the price we agreed on. 1 week, steal rob, I don't care. Deliver the money to each household. Then we're even. His voice dropped to a growl. Otherwise, next time I'll strangle your sister myself. Coward. The middle-aged woman spat a thick glob of phlegm onto Chi Huan's face. His cheek was pinned hard beneath Brother Sun's boot, yet Chi Huan said nothing. His eyes only followed Chi Yu, gasping for breath, yet still throwing herself forward without hesitation. Let go, my brother. Chi Yu clutched at Brother Sun's trouser leg, her tiny fists pounding against it. Yeah, don't. You little brat. Looking for death. Brother Sun's palm cracked across her face, sending her flying several meters. Chi Huan watched as blood spilled from her nose and mouth. His gaze froze. Did you understand what I just told you? Brother Sun ground his heel into Chi Huan's face. If you won't let us live, we'll make sure you don't live well either. Finally, Brother Sun lifted his foot, turning to the crowd. I think he'll get the message. The kid's a coward, but he's not stupid. We'll wait. Brother Sun. A young man suddenly cried out in terror. Brother Sun stiffened. Before he could react, a chill sliced across his neck. At first just a thin line of blood. Then deeper, wider, until, splurt. A spray of blood mist drenched the faces and clothes of everyone nearby. Chi Huan's face was smeared with filth, stamped with boot marks and handprints. But his eyes had gone mad. He seized Brother Sun's hair, yanking his head back violently. Brother Sun clutched at his throat, desperate to stem the flow. Dragged backward, he stumbled, collapsing to the ground. Slowly he raised his eyes, terror filling them as Chi Huan loomed above. Blood bubbled from his mouth, drowning his words. Brother Sun, tell me, what's a life worth? Chi Huan's voice rasped, trembling, his whole body shaking. Brother Sun tried to speak, but no one could hear. Perhaps an apology? Or a plea? Whatever it was, his eyes betrayed only fear. Why do you all have to bully me? Chi Huan wept. You know their deaths had nothing to do with me. Why force it on me? When we made money, everyone was so close. Why did it all change? Yaya grew up before your eyes. She knows nothing. Why would you hurt her? I only wanted to live quietly with my sister. Why won't you let me? Why do you insist on driving me to kill? Chi Huan's roar was wild, unhinged. His short blade plunged again and again into Brother Sun's body. Blood sprayed, soaking the ground. And the crowd? Not one dared to help him. They trembled, retreating step by step. Brother Sun convulsed in the pool of blood until at last, he lay still. Chi Huan rose, drenched in crimson. Blood dripped from the tip of his knife. Chi Huan, you're insane. The middle-aged woman shrieked. We've known each other for years, and you really killed Brother Sun? Chi Huan turned to her, a twisted smile curling his lips. Sister-in-law, that spit of yours was thick. He wiped at the stain with his sleeve. The more he wiped, the filthier it became. Water won't wash it off. The woman froze. Chi Huan lunged. Earlier he had charged into the crowd, only to be kicked back. But now, no one dared stop him. They scattered like frightened beasts, fleeing faster than dogs. The woman ran too. But after 2 steps, her hair was yanked tight. Chi Huan dragged her down, slamming her at his feet. Chi Huan, what are you doing? She screamed hysterically. Don't be crazy. No money fine. No need to kill. You all thought I wouldn't dare kill, didn't you? Chi Huan's eyes locked on her. Then why are you afraid now? Before they hadn't feared him. But now, Chi Huan had killed. And right before their eyes. Chi Huan, calm down. Let's sit and talk. We're neighbors, there's no need. I said that earlier. I begged to talk. You refused. Chi Huan laughed and cried in turns, his mind unraveling. Why is it only after the blade is bloodied that you want to talk? The woman trembled, unable to answer, begging him not to act rashly. Chi Huan sat beside her. Old Wu came to me before. I told him, let's share the money. He refused. He wanted revenge. Chi Huan's tone softened, almost calm, muttering to himself. He must have told you. So why deny it just now? The woman tried to explain, but Chi Huan silenced her. We went out to work, yes, some died. But I didn't kill them. We all risked our lives for money. I survived. I admit, it was luck. But... Chi Huan sobbed. Does luck mean I should die? He lifted his head, pointing at Ning Fan and the others, silent in the corner. Sister-in-law, you're not stupid. Old Wu must have told you. The ones who killed those brothers are living in my house now. Don't you know they're the real killers? You came here, but you didn't even look at them. Even Old Wu, he was killed by them. Why don't you demand money from them? They're richer than me. 10,000 per family they could pay. But I truly can't. If I had it, I'd give it. You're forcing me to die. The woman stammered, trembling. Chi Huan, sister-in-law, admits her mistake. I won't trouble you anymore, all right? Don't scare me. I'm weak-hearted. I never dared kill. Everyone knows that. Chi Huan laughed again. But if you won't even let me live, why should I fear killing? Chi Huan. The blade sank into her belly. Her words died in her throat. Another thrust. Her body writhed violently. Chi Huan pressed her face down, his eyes unfocused, staring blankly ahead. Zep. He stabbed mechanically over and over, until her stomach was nearly torn open. Brother! Then, small, trembling hands clasped his wrist. I'm scared. The warmth on his wrist, the trembling voice. Chi Huan's eyes finally refocused. Fang. The short blade clattered to the ground. Chi Huan pulled Chiyu into his arms and broke down, sobbing aloud. Yeah. I'm sorry. Your brother didn't protect you. I scared you. Chiyu cried against his chest. Damn it, I can't stand this. Su Ben turned away, heading for the alley's exit. Where are you going? Huizi asked. Feeling suffocated. Su Ben snorted. I'll go gun down those bastards, vent some anger. No need. Huizi pointed toward the doorway. It was empty. Su Ben understood immediately. Xiao Fei was gone. He thought for a moment, then still walked out of the alley. Hungry. I'll buy some chicken legs. An hour later. Chi Huan had calmed down. He had paced in and out of the house several times. Every time he sat, nausea rose. And each time he stepped outside and saw the two mangled corpses, the vomiting grew worse. Blood still clung to his clothes, even crusted in his bangs. Your first time killing, huh? Huizi eyed his disheveled state curiously. At the word killing, Chi Huan gagged again, bolting for the door. Huizi grabbed him. No need. Your stomach's empty. Just dry heave. Sure enough, Chi Huan retched, but nothing came out. Why? Can't, or won't. Huizi pressed. Chi Huan steadied his breath, whispering, won't, and can't. It was undeniable. Chi Huan was a coward. Moments ago, beaten and humiliated, he hadn't fought back. He knew resistance meant blood. And he couldn't bear blood. Never killed anyone, yet dared join that trade? Huizi asked again. No choice. No money. Without money we can't live. Chi Huan lowered his head. Either way, death. I just don't want Yaya to starve. He paused, then added, I watched my parents starve to death. It was too painful. Silence fell. Everyone there, except Su Ben, had known hunger. They understood. We won't stay here tonight. Ning Fan spoke calmly. Those people, Sister Fei dealt with them. Consider it our rent. He stood. The others followed without hesitation. Chi Huan looked up sharply. When Ning Fan's group had first arrived, Chi Huan had been terrified. Every moment was lived in dread, that these killers might slaughter him and Yaya on a whim. But as time passed, that fear eased. He realized they struck hard, yes, but only when provoked. If left alone, they weren't so cruel. In fact, they had a trace of humanity. Brother Fan, can I follow you? Chi Huan blurted, desperate. Ning Fan chuckled. Follow me? To do what? Cheer when we're winning, cower when we're losing. Chi Huan froze, shame burning his cheeks. Moments ago he had been fierce. But only for an instant. Once it passed, he was back to being weak. Years of cowardice had carved it into him. Find steady work. Take care of Yaya. Live quietly. Xiao Fei passed him, her voice cold. You're not one of us. And they left. The room still smelled faintly of food. Su Ben, in his haste, had forgotten the 5 chicken legs he'd bought. They soon found another house. In District F70, death was daily. Homes emptied daily. Houses had no value. Gathered inside, they spoke little of Chi Huan. There were countless Chi Huans in this world. No need to dwell. Next, we need to reach the 3rd floor. Ning Fan laid out his plan. I know this is exactly what Yang Kickoff wants. But if we want to survive in F70 and get close to him, there's no other path. Yang Kickoff's brilliance lay in this. His schemes were easy to see but impossible to resist. To be honest, I can't promise I won't lose myself chasing points. Perhaps we'll all go mad from the power they bring, forgetting why we started. Ning Fan's tone grew solemn. If my mother hadn't vanished, if she were waiting for me to bring medicine home, I wouldn't hesitate. I'd only think of earning enough points, trading them for Sola and curing her. We can't know if these hunting teams, crazed with killing, also have obsessions driving them. But at least, the strength gained is real. Those who've reached the 3rd floor have tasted enough sweetness. Their hearts inevitably have been changed. They are, for us, the most dangerous. Even if we don't want to kill them, we can't guarantee they won't want to kill us. Ning Fan's gaze swept the group. To them, we may not be people at all, just 30 points. So you mean ambush hunting teams again? Huizi asked. Ning Fan shook his head. Once was enough. We don't know Yang Kickoff's limits. Drivers are from District G. We can kill F District people, but remember the iron rule. Huizi remembered. F District could be slaughtered. G District was untouchable. They had already broken that rule. To continue would be too risky. Qiao Fei frowned. But in the hunting grounds we can't even see people. How do we fight? Yang Kickoff's rules are interesting. Ning Fan's eyes narrowed. He never said killing F District people had to happen inside the hunting grounds. The group's eyes lit up. Ning Fan continued. Inside the zone he might intervene to keep order. But outside, the bloodier the better. That's what pleases him. So let's please him. Where do we find targets? Huizi raised his wristband. No one's dumb enough to wear this openly. Ning Fan smiled. Guess why the Points Plaza only allows hunting teams inside? Huizi stiffened. To make it easier to identify targets? Not just for us, for everyone who survived the first hunt. Ning Fan stroked his chin. Perhaps we're already someone else's target. As Ning Fan spoke, a chill swept through everyone's backs. Though they were inside a room, it felt as if countless malicious eyes were fixed upon them. I've thought through everything that's happened these past few days. Leaning against the wall, Ning Fan's gaze sank deep into the floor. I once believed I had seen through Yang Kickoff's plan. Even if we couldn't act entirely on our own, at least we wouldn't be too passive. He gave a bitter laugh. But now it seems we never escaped his game at all. The others froze. He's too clever. Ning Fan scratched his head with a wry smile. Layer upon layer of traps. No matter how cautious, it's almost impossible not to step into them. Everyone knew he was speaking of Yang Kickoff. From the moment we entered, he weakened the value of Sola, making points the hard currency of District F70, sparking desire for them. That was only his first step. Once we began craving points, we were already on his path. Ning Fan raised his wristband. Think carefully. Why did the driver only give these to us after we reached the hunting grounds? If we died inside, we'd never learn what came next. But once we survived, what would be our first thought? Qiao Fei answered quickly. Curiosity. What can points actually do? Exactly. So we enter the Points Plaza. Ning Fan chuckled. We instinctively believe it's a marketplace to spend points. But in truth, it's also a draft ground for hunters. From the moment we stepped inside, there were only two paths left. His smile faded. Become the hunter, or the prey. Faces darkened. Because of the wristbands, even if we harbor no malice, we cannot stop others' greed. Yang Kickoff doesn't care if we see through him. Even knowing you can't escape unless you leave District F70. Leave and you cease to matter. Stay and it's kill, or be killed. So whatever choice you make, Yang Kickoff accepts it. For an outsider like him, the greatest threat is District F uniting to overthrow him. So, Ning Fan exhaled long and heavy. He ensures that before unity can even form, people are locked into eternal division. Hunter and prey. Huizi sucked in a sharp breath. Hearing Ning Fan's analysis, one thought consumed him. Yang Kickoff was terrifying. Since arriving in F70, Ning Fan's decisions had never faltered. Everything seemed to move as they intended. And yet, even without mistakes, they had still been drawn into the trap. That was the true horror. Even perfection wasn't enough. Here you could only walk the road he laid out. Silence fell. It seemed whatever they did, it was already within Yang Kickoff's design. There's another problem. Ning Fan tapped his knee rhythmless. The floors themselves distinguish the quality of prey. Experienced hunting teams judge newcomers by how they act in the plaza. Once they confirm we're new, they'll watch if we can reach the second floor, to measure our strength. For example, if we're new but strong, earning over 100 points in the first hunt, we'd surely reach the second floor. To hunters, such prey isn't worth the risk. He swept his gaze across them. But us, some strength not much easier to grasp. Indeed, 100 points in the first hunt meant formidable power. No one wanted to gnaw on hard bones. The wristbands were equal in value. Why choose the toughest target? So most likely, we're already being watched. The room stayed quiet for a long time. After 5 minutes, Su Ben raised his hand, breaking the silence. Defan, your plan was to earn points, grow stronger, then get close to Yang Kickoff and strike, right? Ning Fan nodded. Su Ben continued, we can't be the only team with that idea. Ning Fan agreed. Yang Kickoff's so clever, he must know others think the same. Su Ben frowned. Then isn't he afraid? That these teams, once strong enough, will turn on him? Huizi and Xiao Fei stared at Su Ben in surprise. But Su Ben pressed on. His scheme is tight, yes, but not flawless. By tempting everyone with points, isn't he also helping his enemies grow stronger? Exactly. Some will gain huge power. If left unchecked, won't Yang Kickoff be vulnerable? Huizi added. Ning Fan gave a weary smile. The black wristband. Everyone stiffened. When someone's strength grew enough to unsettle Yang Kickoff, he would make them the most tempting prey. Black wristband. 100 points. Su Ben muttered low. To make them truly irresistible, 100 points won't be enough. Ning Fan said, if I'm right, the fourth floor of the plaza is only for those with black wristbands. What's on the fourth floor? Xiao Fei asked. Ning Fan thought long, then shook his head. I don't know. Points Plaza, fourth floor entrance. A man of 35 or 36 ascended the stairs. On his wrist gleamed a band of pure black without shine. Those on the third floor saw him, their eyes flashing with envy and thick with greed. Dare we strike? 2 families together. One man whispered. The square-faced man beside him hesitated long, then sighed and shook his head. Pick another. Another? Anyone with a black wristband isn't easy prey. Not him. Damn, you'll die of fright someday. If you want to try, take your brothers and do it yourself. I want the fourth floor too, but not by stepping over him. The square-faced man's expression soured. Heh, I don't buy it. If Luo Shi were truly that powerful, would he settle for being Yang Kickoff's second in command? For now, the 4 of them could feel the stalemate. No matter what they did, it all seemed to fall within Yang Kickoff's design. The entire District F70 was like a machine running smoothly, every event moving according to parameters he had set in advance. And they were merely parts of that machine. I'll go talk to my Tev. After long thought, Ning Fan finally broke the silence. Since the cards are already on the table, some things we can't figure out, Better to ask him directly. All right. The three rose. But Ning Fan waved them down. I'll go alone. Deben, Brother Hui, handle things outside. Sister Fei, for now don't leave this room. Qiao Fei blinked. Why? You didn't go to the Points Plaza before. Those watching us may not even know you exist in our team. Ning Fan's tone was calm. Better to keep one card hidden. It might prove useful later. Qiao Fei nodded. Fine. Without further explanation, Ning Fan headed straight for the district guard. He reached the third squad without obstruction. Maitev was clearly surprised to see him. Well. Proud child, already eager to earn more points. Ning Fan smiled. Mr. Maitev, may we speak alone? Maitev narrowed his eyes, studying him for a long moment. Very well. They entered the office. Maitev leaned back in his chair, boots propped lazily on the desk. What do you want to talk about? For you, Mr. Maitev, the wristbands are important, aren't they? Ning Fan wasted no words. Maitev stiffened, then raised a brow. What do you mean? I sensed before that the squads compete with each other. Ning Fan spoke softly. At the time I thought the competition was about beasts. Competition. That much Ning Fan had guessed correctly. Though the beasts were a facade, the struggle between squads for recruits was no act. If the goal wasn't beasts, then it had to be wristbands. Oh. What are you implying? Yes, our squads compete on the number of beasts hunted each month. What's the problem? Maitev chuckled. I don't quite follow, child. You do, Mr. Maitev. Ning Fan smiled. For someone who can bring you more wristbands, shouldn't you be honest? The more you tell me, the more profit I can bring you, isn't that right? Maitev stared at him for a long time. Finally he leaned forward, elbows on the desk. What are you trying to say, child? I just want to know, how many wristbands must I deliver each month to earn your favor? Ha ha ha. Maitev burst into laughter. Child, I've met many from District F. I know you're kind. From the first moment I saw you I knew, you're not the sort to serve District G loyally. His mocking gaze pierced Ning Fan. That look seemed to say, drop the disguise, child. I see through you. Yes, I'm from District F. If I truly served you, I'd be despised by my own people, and even District G would scorn me. Ning Fan shrugged. A dog never earns respect. Maitev's eyes shifted slightly. So you admit, you harbor ill will toward District G? I do. Maitev hadn't expected it. Ning Fan dared to confess, inside the guard's office. One word from him and Ning Fan would die here today. Child, you disappoint me. Maitev's smile faded. I thought you were merely proud, arrogant, brash. Now I see you're foolish. Ning Fan said nothing. Maitev pressed on. To admit such thoughts before me, a squad leader of the district guard. Do you realize with one command today you... Mr. Maitev, I said we should be honest, didn't I? I've set the example. But you're not being sincere. Ning Fan sighed. I truly want to discuss cooperation. Maitev sneered. You think I won't kill you? If you wanted me dead, why waste words? You'd simply open the door and let your squad rush in, wouldn't you? Ning Fan's tone was patient. It's not that you can't kill me, it's that you shouldn't. Oh. Maitev's interest sharpened. You said you've met many from District F, learned much about us. Then you know, I'm not the only one with ill will toward District G. Ning Fan's voice was quiet. Will the guards slaughter them all? He scoffed. That's not your job. Maitev's expression grew strange. Ning Fan continued, against people like me the guard needn't act. Commander Yang Kickoff has already built a complete system. Child. Mr. Maitev, you know. If I can sit here and say this, I'm no child anymore. Ning Fan spread his hands. Let's speak as equals. Each of us gains, why not? Before coming, Ning Fan had realized something. Yang Kickoff had set the machine of District F-70 in motion. They were all parts. As long as the machine ran, no one needed to interfere. If the guard had to kill every malcontent, why would Yang Kickoff bother designing such a scheme? What he wanted was the machine's smooth operation. Parameters set, never to be broken. Not even by the guard. Every part need only perform its function. If you kill me here, my friends will avenge me. The uproar will grow. More will see the guard breaks the rules. And then, Ning Fan's gaze darkened. Wouldn't that give District FA reason to unite? Prep. Maitev slowly applauded. Not angry, rather more appreciative. Malice was normal. And none could escape Yang Kickoff's game. Maitev's position didn't require him to worry. His task was simple. Follow Yang Kickoff's orders. Let District F's people kill each other as fiercely as possible. The more wristbands his hunters brought him, the greater his reward. This young man before him might bring profit. Killing him would only weaken his own squad. Young man, your name is Ning Fan, isn't it? Yes, Mr. Maitev. Ning Fan smiled, pulling 2 red wristbands from his coat and placing them on the desk. Maitev's brows lifted in surprise. Where did you get these? From the last mission, Ning Fan replied. I simply hadn't shown them all before. Maitev stared at the bands for a long while, his voice dropping lower. I heard a driver from the 6th squad vanished a few days ago, along with 3 new recruits. Still missing. Yes. Them. Ning Fan nodded. You killed the driver? Yes. They were in the same vehicle. The driver was from District G. I recognized him by his features. You broke the Iron Law. Maitev's face darkened. The law set by Commander Yang Kickoff. Ning Fan couldn't deny the tension in his chest. But I also brought you 3 wristbands from the 6th squad. He pointed at them. Not many manage to return with 3 bands from their first hunt, do they? Ning Fan was gambling. Betting that Maitev's greed outweighed his loyalty. If Maitev were a zealot loyal beyond reason, Ning Fan knew he'd be dead. But from their exchanges, Maitev's loyalty seemed pragmatic. There were no saints here. Not again. Sure enough, Maitev glared at him for a long moment, then reluctantly pocketed the bands. Was it clean? If Ivan traces it back to you, I'll have trouble. Relax. Unless I say it myself, no one outside my circle will know. Ning Fan exhaled quietly. This method, once only. If there's a next time, I won't protect you. Maitev's warning was sharp. You killed one of District G's own. Understood. Ning Fan brushed off the threat. From Maitev's tone, it was clear. Squad leaders were rewarded far more richly for their performance than Ning Fan had imagined. So, Ning Fan, how many wristbands will you provide me this month? The question revealed Maitev's true concern. Ning Fan's suspicions were confirmed. I have no concept of the numbers. What does Mr. Maitev think is fair? 10. Not much, is it? Maitev smirked. These 3 don't count. Ning Fan didn't answer immediately. Maitev grew impatient. What? Can't even meet that standard? Then your pride disgusts me. Mr. Maitev, no need to provoke me. I'm not so fragile. Ning Fan lifted his head, meeting his gaze. I have a question. Maitev said nothing. What's the record for our 3rd squad? Maitev blinked. After a pause, he sneered. Still so proud. You think 10 is too few. Always aim for first place. Ning Fan shrugged with a smile. Don't you also strive to be the most capable captain in the guard? Their eyes met, both smiling faintly. Ning Fan, I'm beginning to expect something from you. Maitev's lips curled. The ace of the 3rd squad, minimum 15 per month. Ning Fan wasn't surprised. 5 more than Maitev's demand, but exponentially harder. Time was the enemy. By comparison, it meant hunting down 4 teams like the Wild Dog's Den in a single month. Survivors here were wary sharp. For an ace squad to maintain such output under constant vigilance. Terrifying. Does that scare you? Maitev boasted. Do you know the highest record in the entire guard? How many in 1 month? Ning Fan shook his head. 54. Might have relished Ning Fan's shock. From the proud young man's face he saw all. 1 month, 54 wristbands. A staggering number. And the record holder? That was 3 years ago. Might have waved dismissively. He doesn't hunt anymore. Ning Fan wanted to ask if the man still lived. But he swallowed the question. Curiosity was dangerous. Better to stay focused. Other squads must have aces too? Ning Fan pressed. And I should know which squad hates us most to be cautious. Ha. You just want to know our enemies. Might have didn't hide it. The 9th squad. Their bands are purple. Ning Fan nodded thoughtfully. Might have stretched, dismissing him. Enough talk, young man. Go prove yourself. Show me your skill. But Ning Fan didn't move. Might have frowned, irritation rising. Just as he was about to speak more bluntly. The 9th squad's ace team. Can you give me their file? Ning Fan asked calmly. Might have froze, uncertain. Don't tell me, you plan to move against them? Ning Fan nodded. We're enemies, aren't we? Then breaking their ace will hurt them. For you, Mr. Maitev, you've invested little in me. If we fail, if we're wiped out, your loss is small. But if we exceed expectations, if we destroy the 9th squad's ace, then you profit greatly. Ning Fan's smile sharpened. Just thinking of it makes me excited for you. Maitev's eyes gleamed. He couldn't deny it. The proposal tempted him. The rivalry between squads was fierce. Given the choice, the 9th squad would target the 3rd. And the 3rd would target the 9th. If Ning Fan could break their ace, then the 9th squad's captain would forever bow lower before Maitev. This is our next target. Ning Fan had returned home. The 4 of them sat together, Ning Fan pointing at the list spread across the table. The 9th squad's ace hunting team. The dossier had been obtained smoothly enough. He recounted the entire process to the others. When they heard that Ning Fan had openly admitted to ambushing that vehicle, every one of them sucked in a sharp breath. He really dared to lick blood from the blade. A deed that should have been hidden at all costs. Yet he had confessed it to the district guard. But for Ning Fan the risk was calculated. If he could grasp Yang Kickoff's rules, then it wasn't recklessness, it was leverage. In Yang Kickoff's eyes, we're just parts of the machine. The district guard is the same. Ning Fan explained quietly. He's clever. And proud. The others understood. Yang Kickoff believed his design flawless. He despised anyone disrupting the order he had set. The district guard closest to him naturally understood their master's mind. And each squad leader's standing depended on performance. So for profit, bending the rules a little. That was acceptable. This was why Ning Fan had dared to approach Maitev directly. Of course, even knowing this, it was still a gamble. So that's why you went alone to Maitev? Qiao Fei asked suddenly. Huizi and Su Ben blinked. Ning Fan only shrugged with a smile. It was a conversation. Why bring a crowd? Seeing Qiao Fei about to press further, Ning Fan cut her off. Enough. It's done. Talking about it now is pointless. He tapped the dossier. What matters is taking down the 9th squad's ace team. Qiao Fei studied him for a long moment, then sighed, saying no more. Huizi and Su Ben straightened, picking up the file. The ace team had 5 members. Their captain Zhou Liang, spirit attendant, Hawk. 10 soul level, already close to 100 soul. A ranged attacker with a reach of nearly 200 meters. The rest were also 10 soul, 3 of them close combat specialists. But what caught Ning Fan's eye most was a girl named Sun Yingying. Her spirit attendant, Gostai, a support type. According to the dossier, she could attach her spirit to non-living objects, using it as her own sight. For example, if Gostai latched onto the wall of their house, Sun Yingying could see everything within a 100-meter radius of that point. Fortunately, she could only see, she could not hear. After reading, Huizi hesitated. Ning Fan, didn't you say wristbands all have equal value? No need to gnaw on hard bones. For mature hunting teams, yes. Ning Fan tapped the dossier. But for us, this is perfect. Why? Because they're an ace team. Ning Fan's voice dropped. If someone went to Maitev asking for our information, could he provide it? Of course not. Su Ben answered. We've barely shown our hand. How could he know our strength? Exactly. If I'd asked for an ordinary squad's file, Maitev wouldn't have had it. But an ace team is different. The 3rd and 9th squads are old rivals. Maitev would have gathered their dossier carefully. So, rather than say I wanted to strike an ace team, it's simply that their information was the easiest to obtain, and the most complete. Ning Fan's fingers drummed lightly on the table. We need an opponent anyway. Better to choose one we can study thoroughly. The others understood. Against other squads they had no informational edge. So why not take the risk? Ace teams were stronger, yes, but the Wild Dogs Den could prepare. And once we crush this ace team, we'll become the hard bone others fear to bite. Ning Fan's voice was low. Anyone who thinks of targeting us will have to weigh their own strength first. Yes. Defeating an ace team, even if others didn't know their true power, the record alone would be deterrent enough. The Wild Dogs Den would breathe easier. And imagine, if we take down Zhou Liang's squad, how will Maitev see us? Ning Fan continued. First hunt, 3 wristbands. Second hunt, the destruction of the 9th squad's ace team. Damn! Huizi exclaimed. That record blinds even me. Ning Fan laughed. Exactly. Maitev won't be able to ignore us. What do you want from Maitev? Qiao Fei asked. Ning Fan's eyes narrowed. Watch. Most importantly, permission to break rules. I already tested him with those 3 wristbands. In his mind, as long as we bring profit, he'll tolerate small violations. Even cover for us if needed. Because District F70 has run this way for years. They trust Yang Kickoff's parameters. Even if we grow beyond Maitev's control, we'll never escape Yang Kickoff's game. So from Maitev's perspective, he only needs to think of his own gain. As long as we don't make a fatal mistake, Ning Fan's lips curved. He'll shelter us. You mean to use the 3rd squad to break Yang Kickoff's parameters? Qiao Fei asked, half understanding. Ning Fan nodded firmly. He pointed outside. This district structure gave me the idea. The others looked out the window, puzzled. Ning Fan's voice was calm, deliberate. District F70 is unlike the others. Su Ben was the first to grasp it. The difference was, District F70 was a stone pillar. To break it from outside is nearly impossible. But, Ning Fan's eyes gleamed. From within, we can carve a great hollow.